Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Manos de Cristo. Manos de Cristo is making a big difference in our community, and you have an opportunity to help this local nonprofit at its largest annual fundraiser, the Share the Love Gala. Board member Amanda Bonilla is here to tell us more. Always nice to have a friend in the studio. Amanda, good morning.
Good morning. So nice to see you, Rosie.
Good to see you too, and looking very sharp in your cowgirl hat. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the gala?
So the gala, Manos de Cristo Share the Love Gala, is actually called Boots, Bling, and Black Tie. So we are so excited. Everyone is going to be wearing their cowboy boots, their cowboy gear. It's going to be on April the 5th at Fairmont Austin. Of course, we are so fortunate to the Fairmont Austin for always helping us host this wonderful event. So we're so excited. It's our largest annual fundraiser, and it's just amazing to be there and to actually wear our cowboy boots and our cowboy hats. So we hope to see everyone come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And all that great cowboy stuff that I know everybody owns because you live down here in Texas, you can pull it out of the closet.
Right, exactly. We've got it all.
Throw on a little rhinestone earring and call it a day. Here we go. You're really excited as well about your MC for the evening. She's one of our own.
Yes, we're so thrilled to have Cake Sands' own Sally Hutton on this. She is going to be our MC, and this will be her second year MCing our event. So we hope to see Sally out there in her finest Western wear.
And out there having a great time and raising a lot of money because, of course, Manos de Cristo, a local nonprofit. I always really want people to know that because it's incredible the work that you do here in the Central Texas community.
Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the mission?
So Manos de Cristo was founded in 1988 by Central Texans for Central Texans. And what we want to do is help the community empower, grow, and thrive and stay healthy. We provide affordable dental services. We also have a clothing closet, an emergency food pantry. We also have educational classes, which of course are U.S. citizenship classes, English as a second language classes, and computer literacy, which is so important.
Especially the older we get, the less spongy my brain is. Those computer literacy classes are so important in today's age.
Absolutely, and getting the community involved in helping our neighbors is so important, and it makes our community just better.
Absolutely, and you've helped over 30,000 people, which is a big number.
It's a huge number.
If I had, I would say hats off to you. But speaking of the gala, just one more time, how can we get involved? Because I know tickets are still available, right?
Tickets and sponsorships are still available, so we want you to go to sharethelovegala.com. You'll find out more information. Also get social with us. Go to Manos ATX on Instagram and Facebook. You will find out about all the wonderful things we are doing to help empower the community and to help the community stay healthy and thrive.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think even if you can't afford to donate, even if you can't make it to the event, even just sharing on social media gets the word out.
Sharing on social media, even volunteering is so important to help our community and help our local neighbors, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much for what it is you do, Amanda. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Rosie.
All right, you can visit sharethelovegala.com for details on sponsorship opportunities and individual tickets. We can't wait to see you there in your Western gear. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Manos de Cristo. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Magic Glass Repair. Completely mobile replacements and repair for your convenience. That's the idea behind Magic Glass Repair. Owner Phil Beaupre is here to tell us more. And Phil, I'd first like to ask to hear just a little bit more about your business and what it is y'all offer.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Rosie. So a lot of what Magic Glass Repair does is we want to make it convenient for the customers here in the Austin area to get their windshields, back glass replaced. Because usually what happens is it's something you don't expect. You get that rock off the road, unfortunate accidents before you come out to work. We want to make sure that it's convenient for you because we know how unsettling it can be when you find it and it interrupts your day. So what we really want to focus on is that customer experience.
Not only that, you told me off camera that something people don't think about is that there's a lot of tech nowadays that's going into our rear view mirrors.
So thanks for bringing that up. So a lot of the vehicles nowadays have the ADAS system, which is Advanced Driver Assist System. And what we do is we do mobile calibration. So not only with replacing the windshield, now we can actually calibrate that safety system to ensure that it works properly after that windshield's replaced for you.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to ask what makes y'all stand out. I know it's so important to you to be local.
It is. So one of the priorities for me was making sure that we are providing a local service. And I actually bought this business from someone who was operating out of town, or actually out of state. And I wanted to bring that local feel back because I grew up in a home that my parents were entrepreneurs themselves, and small business was always a part of our household. And I wanted to start bringing that feel here to Austin.
What's the most common mistake people tend to make when they get something like a cracked windshield?
A lot of the biggest mistake is they think it can get repaired. So a lot of the times when you're looking at your windshield, a small chip smaller than a quarter can be repaired. Now again, this is a repair. So it will eventually need to be replaced. However, for the time being and just for convenience sake, a repair can take less than 30 minutes typically. So that can be done quickly and less of a hassle, but your windshield will eventually need to be replaced.
And you said today with modern technology, it's actually really easy to get in touch with you guys and for you to have a conversation with the customer about what's probably going to be needed for their vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple ways you can get a hold of us. You can call us by phone, and we have a real people answering our telephones at all times.
Thank you.
You can leave us a message or text us if it's easier and more convenient for you at the time. We also answer via text, or you can visit our website for a quick form to fill out, and it sends it directly to us and we get right back to you.
Sounds good to me. Phil, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Auto Glass done right. Visit magicglassrepair.com or call 512-605-1263 to get your free quote today. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Magic Glass Repair. Welcome back, everybody. World Down Syndrome Day is coming up on March 21st. That's tomorrow. Ruby Plachta and her mom Liz of Ruby's a Rainbow are joining us this morning to talk about raising support for college scholarships for young adults who are rocking an extra chromosome. And we are so excited to see them every single year. Y'all, good morning. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
I'm so happy to see you two here in the studio and really impressing me with these outfits. I can see the rainbow. Liz, if I can I first get you to talk to us about the start of Ruby's life and kind of what made you inspired to start Ruby's Rainbow?
Yeah, well, I didn't know anything about Down syndrome before Ruby was born. I didn't know anybody with Down syndrome when Ruby was born, which makes me sad now because I see how much joy that she brings into this world and into my life. But I really just wanted to do something for the Down syndrome community. And the second I held her, I just knew that she was going to change the world, and that I wanted the world to see what I saw in her, that she was amazing and capable and worthy of it all. And so we, once I got out of the NICU, she was in the NICU for a little bit, got out of the NICU and just decided, you know, I wanted to help people with Down syndrome go for their college dreams. And here we are now doing it. Right,
Love
Ruby?
that.
Yeah.
And why was specifically going for college dreams so important to you, Liz?
Well, I wanted her to have all the same opportunities as her big sister. And, you know, I didn't know what that future might look like, but I knew I wanted her to have opportunity. And so I just decided, I didn't even know if people with Down syndrome were going to college when I first started this, but come to find out there's programs across the nation specifically for people with intellectual disabilities to help them, you know, learn and grow and be independent and do all of these amazing things that we got to do, you know, when we were kicked to the curb and off to college. So, so I really just, you know, I mean, my friends and my community are my family, and I wanted her to have that, you know, when she got older. And so that was a huge reason why I just kind of looked to the future and wanted to help people rocking it like her go for their dreams.
And it's not too far away now, Ruby, because you're not far from high school. So that's the next thing we'll be talking about is college. Oh my goodness. Ruby, every single year we talk about what's new with you. You're in a ton of sports. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the extracurricular activities you do?
Well, I do cooking and I do bowling. I got second place.
Good for you. In bowling?
Yeah, in bowling.
Way to go, girl.
Then I'm in the Olympics basketball.
Basketball, all right. And then cheer has been a big theme for you, and we're still doing cheer, right? Oh, man. Okay. And, 2 years ago I checked in. We were thinking maybe we wanted to be a doctor. Last year you said, ooh, maybe I want to become a chef. What are you thinking right now?
I still want to be a chef.
Still want to be a chef. Okay, so maybe we're starting to whittle it down. I really like that. Yeah. And because you are a cheerleader, I asked you if you wouldn't mind showing us a little routine. So if you wouldn't mind coming to the middle of the stage here. Yep, absolutely. And my friend, take it away whenever you're ready.
Okay. I forgot Scott.
Oh my gosh, which one were we gonna do?
There was a turn and a kick at some point. Does that help you?
Yeah.
My team is
what? Dynamite. Team is what? Dynamite.
And a
Dynamite.
kick. Woo! Way to go! And what do we do in cheer? We do a lot of spirit fingers, right?
Yeah.
There. She's like, I'm a middle schooler. I don't have to do what you say. All right, I'll have you join your mom back over there. Liz, give us an update, if you would, on Ruby's Rainbow, because the amount of money you all have given and raised is pretty staggering, including I want to hear about how this year's campaign is shaping up.
So we've given 883 scholarships.
Wow.
That's over $3.2 million in scholarships we've been able to give out to people rocking that extra chromosome across the nation, going for their dreams of higher education and independence. And it truly has been more than I could have ever imagined. I mean, when I was holding this little lady back then, big lady, she
got really annoyed at little lady. How dare you, Mom? I'm going to be in high school next year.
When I held her all those years ago and had this idea, I had no idea the impact that she was going to have on this world. And so to just see that, all the lives that, we've been able to help and change. And so that's been really incredible as a mom to see.
And this year's campaign features 4 different journeys. It starts with a wedding, and I was like, well, try not to cry in the first 30 seconds.
So we're right in the middle of our 321 Pledge, which is our biggest campaign, our biggest awareness and fundraising campaign of the year. We're trying to raise $600,000 so we can give out $600,000 this year. And we're sharing, since a huge part of our mission is that awareness piece of showing the world that people are amazing and capable, people with Down syndrome are amazing and capable and worthy of it all. We're sharing 4 stories. It's all about big dreams this year, about dreaming big and how that can change, your life. And so one of our recipients got married. She met her husband in college, and Ruby and I got to go to her wedding and watch her walk down the aisle. I look over at one point and Ruby was crying watching her come down the aisle because she got to see a little bit of herself in Alex and realize
is Alex her name? She looks like a princess.
Oh yes, she is gorgeous. And so we're telling one of our recipients, Breezy, is going for her associate's degree at Georgia Highlands College. And then, of course, Martha is out there just slaying it with her disability advocacy on Capitol Hill. And so it's just really cool to just show and share these stories to bring hope and joy and excitement for the future of people with Down syndrome.
Absolutely. And it's 321 because it's the third
copy of the 21st chromosome.
Oh, okay. She was going to say it better than I was. All right. Ruby, in a lot of those pictures, I was able to see you with the big, big check, handing it off to some of these young people. How does it feel when you get to give away that money?
Happy.
Happy?
Yeah.
You told me off camera that's your favorite part of the whole thing.
It is my favorite part.
I think that's fantastic. So Liz, anybody watching today, we want them to get involved. Can you just tell us how we can help you?
Absolutely. So, like I said, we're in the middle of our biggest campaign leading up to World Down Syndrome Day tomorrow, which is a day that we just celebrate all the magic that extra chromosome brings. But they can go to 321pledge.org and donate, share, all of that fun stuff helps us with our mission of raising awareness and scholarship funds.
And I will double down and repeat that information for everybody at home. Y'all, thank you so much, Ruby. I
Thank
can't
you,
wait to see what you
Rose.
achieve next year. All right,
Thank
help out with the
you.
321 Pledge starting today. Donate now at 321pledge.org. Aw shucks, wink wink. There is an exciting event around the corner. It's Texas Sushi Co.'s Oyster Fest. Chef Michael Carranza is here to tell us more. Chef, good morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Good. Why don't we talk first of all about you've got a couple of things in the hopper, quite frankly, but let's talk about Texas Sushi Co.
Yeah, so Texas Sushi Co., located in the Yard, South Congress, St. Elmo area.
Great area.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot of fun. We'll be doing an oyster festival coming up featuring Texas Gulf oysters that are being farmed 10 minutes from my hometown. So
Whoa.
really cool to be able to be introducing Texas farming. It's a new year for that. Texas Park and Wildlife didn't allow it before. So really cool to see oysters that you can eat year round opposed to the finding things in a certain month and
Absolutely.
changing the dynamic of oysters in Texas.
We are definitely going to talk more about oyster farming and how it's changing in the Gulf because I think that's really exciting stuff. But what else can you tell us about kind of the vibe, the ambiance of Texas Sushi Co.?
Yeah, Texas Sushi Co., we're located inside Texas Sake. So people can come in, it's a brewery, so it's the only sake brewery in Texas.
Which is so cool.
You come in, craft sake, craft beer, and then oysters that we'll be serving dressed with caviar. You can get them just as is on a cracker. Really just kind of celebrating oysters in Texas.
I love that. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that farming piece because so often I think people default to the PEI oysters of
Yeah,
the world.
of
You know,
course.
you go off to the East Coast or off to the West Coast sort of thing to get some good oysters. Why don't you tell me about what they're doing now in the Texas
Yeah,
Gulf?
I mean, so like a lot of times people see Gulf oysters as these big, huge oysters that people don't really want. They're
Very
dredged.
meaty.
Yeah, they're picked up from the bottom of the water. These are vertically farmed in Copano Bay. Copano Oyster Company is who we use personally. And it's small. It's a little boutique oyster farm that they're awesome. They're fun. I mean, they've got them out like 15 minutes out in the water, about 8 foot of water. You can kind of hang out there. It's really pretty. There's dolphins and things out near the farms and
I
stuff.
love that. Yeah.
So a complete experience just going out there in general, and then seeing oysters that are same size and shape as PEI or West Coast, East Coast style oysters. So you're going to see these and not think like, ooh, that looks like I don't want it, opposed to, oh, that looks like a regular oyster that people are accustomed to consuming.
Sure. And these have all been seeded. Like, can you just describe that a
Yeah.
little bit more? You
So
said
there's
that
like a
to me off camera.
hatchery.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of tanks. It's basically they've got a bunch of little ones that they have just growing until they send them to the farms. So they're non-spawning oysters. So the oysters usually see coming from the Gulf are spawning, so they can grow wherever they take off. They'll grow on rocks and all these things. These only grow in their cages, and they're help to like maintain quality.
Oh, quality. Okay, I really like the sound of that. You brought to me today the demo of an oyster shuck, which I have to say, you want to be careful. Right?
Yeah, you know, it can
you
get
want to
pretty-
learn from an expert.
Yeah, I've definitely got myself a couple times with the oyster knife. These oysters here are pretty simple to shuck. They're really nice. That's the thing with vertically farming, and you know, you're getting that shape of the oyster itself that just looks nice. And
It looks a lot smaller, to your
Yeah.
point, than I've normally seen from Gulf
Well,
oysters.
And these oysters, we specifically pick down to the like how big the cup size is, where how long they are here, and where exactly they're coming from in the water. So we're specifically getting these branded oysters. For
You
ourselves.
are being very particular about
Yes.
your product, and
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
that. Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't you give us a
Yeah.
little demo?
So we use an oyster knife here.
Yeah, that's an important thing to have,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Is get something specifically for oyster shucking.
Oh yeah, you can definitely hurt yourself doing this. And then you just have the little valve under here, and you just go in, pull it off, stick top. There's that.
Well, he makes that look really easy. And then you flip the whole thing over, right?
Yeah, so you want to separate the abductor muscle underneath so people can eat it. So you just shuck that over.
A little anatomy
flip it
lesson.
over, and then right there. the
That is a
oyster.
beautiful oyster ready to
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Have you ever shucked oysters?
What'd you say?
Have you ever shucked oysters?
I've tried one other time, so
Let's-
I'm gonna follow your instructions
would
to
be
a T.
careful.
Uh-huh.
And
So we're
then-
gonna, same thing,
Yep.
go,
And try not to
in-
push at it. There it goes. Oh, there.
yeah.
And then
so
slide it.
slide it
that way.
down, okay. Yeah, and I
it
just
should
heard
go
my
just-
director say, be careful.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't get my
there
hand,
it is.
y'all, hey.
Yeah.
And so as you said,
And
the
there's a little muscle
a
right
little
there.
muscle.
You can kind of feel it holding
yeah,
itself
I
on.
can.
Yeah, so that right there is just kind of, you want to separate that. Some places you can tell the quality of whenever people are shucking and they actually care.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not doing as beautiful of a job as you did, but I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, you might
that
be
you were
able
able to walk me through that.
I mean, you might be able to win our oyster shucking competition.
Yes, so there's an oyster shucking competition. Not only that, but as you said, caviar dressed. People can just show up and start ordering oysters the way they want, but they can try a couple first for free,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, we'll have a tasting station set up so people can kind of come in and get introduced. Because a lot of times there is that stigma of Gulf oysters. So we want them to try it, fall in love with it, and then also be able to shuck in our competition afterwards. But it's pretty simple. I mean, you come in, you can RSVP through our Eventbrite, and follow us on Texas Sushi Co.'s Instagram. We'll post things on there up to the coming day.
That sounds good to me, and I think you bring up a really good point. RSVP, just let them know that you're coming because it helps you guys with the amount of orders you're putting in.
Yeah, I want to be able to make sure we have enough oysters, but if people can RSVP, we'll definitely help with that.
And it means no ticket price, y'all. I love to hear that. Okay, weekly crawfish boils. So the Oyster Fest is a one-off, at least for right now, but you guys do weekly crawfish boils as well.
So for the past 2 weeks, now that the season's getting really nice with bigger crawfish and things, every Sunday we're doing crawfish boils starting at 2 o'clock till we sell out. It's been going pretty well. We've had a lot of people come out and come enjoy what we're doing. So.
How hot are you making that crawfish?
Oh, it's pretty spicy. It's good. But it's a mix of spice, garlic, butter, a little bit of cilantro, and then our secret recipe for the boil.
Ooh, okay. Well, I can see a cool little video of you guys kind of prepping it right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then am I to assume the potatoes, the corn?
Oh,
yeah.
Sausage, potato, corn, mushrooms. I mean, you name it. It's all in there.
That sounds amazing. And just real quickly in our last 20 seconds, Tare, one of your other restaurants here in town, it got recommended by the Michelin Guide when they came through.
Yeah, that was pretty
have to be
special.
so excited about that.
Yeah, it was crazy. Opening last year, January 4th, and then not even expecting them to be in Texas, and then hearing about it, and then getting an email from them was pretty special. It was definitely, it was awesome.
You said the celebration was cool.
The ceremony was pretty awesome. Seeing a bunch of, chefs that I, idolize, chefs that I've known, and ultimately just friends. It felt like the right place, right time.
That is amazing. Well, congratulations on everything you've achieved. Can't wait to continue to follow your success, Chef.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Okay, guys, don't miss out on those weekly crawfish boils we told you about, and you can learn more about the upcoming Oyster Festival by going to TexasSushiCo.com.
Build yourself a boat, babe. Make yourself a sail. Float into the ocean to nowhere. Yeah, I see you looking for a sign, praying for a beacon. So here's the light. My arms will be wide open for the moment you arrive. When you set sail on your journey and happiness is far away, love will lead you to the morning, lead your heart down to the bay. Don't resist the rain and storm, I'll never leave you lost at sea. I will be your lighthouse keeper, bring you safely home to me. I will be your lighthouse keeper, bring you safely home to me.
Oh my goodness, that deserves a big round of applause, y'all. We just heard from members of the Austin Gay Men's Chorus, Dan McKay, Glenn Linford, Andy Hager and Ben Southard, performing The Lighthouse Keeper. Glenn and Andy are wearing microphones, so we were picking up a little extra ambient sound. They're going to tell us a little bit more about the choir, including an exciting event that you can mark your calendar for. First of all, I have to say a big congratulations. I love The Lighthouse Keeper. I was thrilled to hear that you were going to perform that for us today. The blend you all have is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We had a good time singing it.
Yeah, the president should know. Oh. All right, we're going to start with you, Glenn, if you wouldn't mind. Tell us a little bit about the chorus and what it is y'all do.
Well, we are a group of people who love to sing. You don't have to be gay or a man or anything, just sing in the range, and we have a great time singing together. So we've been around, this is our 36th season.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And we have an upcoming show in May. We're very excited to get it on the go.
Yeah, so the show is what you guys are prepping for right now. Right. This morning I was like, oh, Lighthouse Keeper, and you said 45 seconds. We're still practicing. Don't expect the whole song yet. But I'd love to hear that you guys are getting so excited about this upcoming show, and I'm going to ask more about that in just a second. But Andy, if you wouldn't mind, you've joined us one other time. Such a beautiful voice you've got. Tell us a little bit more about your group, kind of the gentlemen not only who are here today, but the sort of people who join you, because you've got now 150 members.
Yeah, we've really expanded recently, and there's just the widest variety of people in the greater Austin area. And we have people who come from San Antonio and Corpus Christi, people who join us every week from far distances just to sing with us. Majority of the chorus does not read music, so it's
no way.
Yeah, so
wow.
We have lots of resources to help everyone learn the music and really fit in and find their voice with us.
So what do you tend to find as far as backgrounds that people come to you with?
A lot of our members either sang in high school or were in band. We also have a variety of people with upper degrees in music and doctorates and PhDs. And some of us went to school for music, but a lot of us did not. So it's good to sort of have that variety of experiences.
A big variety. And Glenn, actually, I'm going to bring that back to you. The expansion of adding 35 new people just this last year was all about being more accessible music-wise and making sure that we're hearing more of a diversity of voices, right?
Right. We really want to reflect the community that we live in, and that's what we've been striving to do. It's a very intentional approach to our growth.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I want to know about this upcoming concert. What are y'all planning?
Well, our show is in May 17th and 18th, and it's a very wide range of music. So we have some very pop-oriented things that really speak to culture going on right now.
Okay.
So you heard Sam Smith just now. We have some Beatles, some there's the song that Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande sing. What was the name?
Rain on Me.
Rain on Me.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that that's my husband's favorite song?
See?
I feel like everyone has that like one pop song that really hits for them,
Yeah.
and Rain on Me is it. So that's a tough number to do with kind of a lower set of registers.
Right, and that's the whole point. We need to have some arrangements that really speak from our voices and just make it work like that. Because it's really hard to arrange pop music.
Yeah.
It sounds good in a choral setting. It doesn't sound, why are y'all doing this? So this is yeah, we have some really good arrangements coming in.
Wonderful. And do you do it all a cappella? That's a question I actually don't know.
No. In fact, hardly any of it. None of it is a cappella this time, right? No, we don't have anything a cappella on the show. So that was one of the challenges for this morning, was coming up with a piece that we could do a cappella, that would sound good, and that we knew enough of this early in the preparation.
Well, I didn't realize that we had asked so much of y'all, but you sounded absolutely fantastic. As you're talking about the range of the songs that we're going to hear, about how many pieces can we expect to be performed at the event?
I believe there are 17. Is that right?
17 or so.
Yeah.
Lots of breathing in between and maybe some water breaks, right?
There is an intermission and everything, and
Okay.
we try to make it more of a show. We're trying to make, when people think of choral concert, they maybe don't get excited, but there's a pre-show party thing where we have an open, a cash bar for that kind of thing, and food, and there's some pre-entertainment music going on in the lobby. So it's much more of an event than just a choir concert.
Well, you had me anyway at choral concert. You also just had your drag out event. You said that went really well. Can I hear what it was?
Sure. So we had a contest of sorts among 8 of our members who agreed to dress up in drag, and they're not professional drag people. Mm-hmm. These are very drag on the side kind of things. So We had some drag queens who helped them with their makeup and their show and helped them prep so that they could put on a performance they felt really good about. And there was an audition process, so they had to kind of present what they were going to do, and then they did that. The whole show was actually at Oil Can Harry's, so they hosted us for that, and we raised just a little over $20,000 after expenses.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear that it went so well. And you're going to get me on a soapbox, but the number one thing I dislike about a lot of modern drag is that they're not actually singing. I want to hear voice, you know what I mean? I want the full performance from head to toe. And so coming from beautiful voices like yours, I bet that was a little bit easier. Andy, tryouts are a little far away, but the idea is maybe we start practicing now.
Yes, so tryouts are in August, getting ready for our 37th season. And what in the past we've done is we've had people sing the second half of the Star Spangled Banner. So it's something that's familiar.
The hardest part.
Famously, yes.
Yes.
So it may be different this year, but it's usually something well known, and we'll provide you with a track to learn and so you can practice ahead of time. And we've got the option for in-person auditions, and we've got virtual auditions, whatever works best for you.
Well, sounds fun. Very exciting. I'll have to leave it here. Y'all, thank you so much. Break a leg in May.
Thank
you so much.
Appreciate it. Mark your calendars now for the Shake the Rafters concert on May 17th and 18th. Learn more at atxgmc.org. We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Best Reviews. From long walks on the beach to enjoying a meal together, there's nothing like spending quality time with your dog. Let's take time to show our four-legged friends just how much we love them. Jessica Wills and Rachel Moore are standing by with top products for your pup from consumer resource Best Reviews.
We all want the best for our pups, whether it's tasty treats or fun toys to keep them entertained. However, with an endless option to choose from, you may need a little help picking the perfect products for your pooch.
So joining us now with the top tested products for your dog is Senior Director of Content Operations from Best Reviews, Jacob Palmer, with the cutest display ever. Jacob, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. There's a ton of new innovation, ton of new products every year, and we've got some of our favorites to show today.
So let's start with this right here, Jacob. Tell me about this.
Kind of always with these Best Review segments, we also want to make sure that the people that are taking care of the dogs are taken care of as well. And that's why we love these Trot feeding stations. Number one, they come with this topper to it, so if you are traveling a lot, maybe you need to drop them off at the in-laws or whatever, it's great because you can just pack it all up and go. And also what we love about it is it's good for all kinds of dogs. Obviously it's elevated, so if you have an older dog that's a little bit friendlier for their neck, but also if you have a dog that gets pretty aggressive when he eats, maybe he really gets into it, these are great too because these are magnetically held into place. Last thing that we love about it is that it also has a little bit of a puzzle in the food bowl so you can make sure that it slows them down a little bit. So we love that as well. It's like 5 different products all in one.
Wow, yeah, it looks great and it's great for them. So we love to hear that. That's wonderful. Speaking of things that are great for them, we've got our wellness section right here. Of course, people want to be healthy and they also want their pets to stay healthy.
And it's such an interesting thing because I feel like as recently as like 10 years ago, dog wellness was kind of like, oh, it looks fine.
Yeah.
And now like people are really kind of taking into account all of the different ways that they can make sure that their dog is on the up wrapping up. And we'll start here with these superfood powders that you can sprinkle over their food. It's great for digestive health. This is a great product for that. And it's kind of innovative in that way because a lot of times, you didn't think about gut health with your dog, but it does relieve a lot of their issues and make a lot of things a lot easier for you.
Nice, and you've got the balm there as well. So what's that?
Oh, of course, every dog needs a good skincare routine, right? And so this is great because there's a couple different ones that you can do here. One is great for their paws, and especially if you're living in an area and they love going on those walks, they can make sure they get the balm over it so that it's nice and soft. It maintains and doesn't get ripped up too much, which is huge. And then the other one, is going to help out with it's got the best plant-based ingredients and make sure that their fur is looking good as well.
Yes. Well, of course, we got to make sure that they're also having some fun. These toys look like I would have fun with them. So what do we have right here, Jacob?
So this is from Play, and they obviously, you can tell by the table right here, they've got a ton of different stuff that you can check out. And it's perfect for dogs that like to play a little bit rougher too, because they're made to be very durable and made out of materials that are very thoughtful. And we love this one especially because it literally has like 3 toys in one. And so they can pull it out, it keeps them entertained, which is huge. And then also, it's got all the different things that you would think of in terms of being thoughtfully put together. So the materials are made out of recycled materials, and they're also just super durable.
Awesome, and I love that when you squish it, it makes that sound that dogs seem to just love.
Do it.
Go
Do
crazy.
it on the cheeseburger.
Earlier, I was using this phone. Jacob, I'm ruining your display here, but you can just hear how the dogs are just doing this all day long. I know it. There you go.
That's what we're looking for.
That's the powerful one right there.
If your dog's watching, then they heard that for sure. Jacob, these are so cool.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. As always, this is great. We appreciate it. Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar, and for more on these products and others, you can head to bestreviews.com. Or you can scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen.
You can find more on these products and where to buy them by going to our website, kxan.com, and searching for Best Reviews. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Best Reviews, which is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Manos de Cristo, Magic Glass Repair, and Best Reviews.